And welcome back to the Factor Uncensored. The bid for the White House is taking shape and heating up. One candidate, former President Donald Trump, is hoping to return, and President Joe Biden wants to stay put officially. The news made official with his announcement to run for president again today in 2024. He announced by releasing a video this morning saying he is going to run again. Joining me now to discuss it, University of Houston downtown professors Dr. Dietrich von Bietenfeld and Dr. David Branham. Glad to have you here both on the Factor Uncensored. So first of all, your assessment of the video and the way he announced his re-election bid.
I think it was pre-planned, and he understood what he wanted to do, and he wanted to make it low-key because he's not going on the campaign trail. He's going to go on business as usual from here, just making it an announcement. I'm going to run. I'm going forward, and that's it.
Is that a reflection of his age or just his strategy, or, you know, every sitting president who's running for re-election will do that?
You can't think, but it has to be a reflection of his age on some merit.
It's like, I'm too damn tired.
Exactly.
Here's my message. Take that.
Exactly. And it looks like we may have two presidential candidates in that same boat. You know, we're going to have.
And they're not too far apart in age, right?
No, Trump's about 4 years younger than Biden. Biden will be 86 at the end of his term if he wins. I mean, that's 86. That's old. I'm sorry. Hope I don't get in trouble for that. That's over the hill.
I didn't say that.
I mean, Biden is carrying on the Obama agenda, but he's 19 years older than Obama.
The oldest president in U.S. history.
As soon as he took office. So, yeah, I mean, I think things will be different. And I think it's a mistake. I honestly think we need younger faces. We have fresher minds, people who can do more work. This is the most important job in America. You're going to hand it to somebody in their 80s. I think it's a mistake.
All right, don't get accused of ageism and get canceled, Dr. Branham. We need you next week.
I might get there.
Dr. von Bietenfeld, your thoughts on the way he announced his re-election bid this morning?
First of all, like your previous guest, thank you for having me, and thank Dr. Branham for his endorsement for my presidential campaign and an announcement upcoming.
For sure.
Right? As somebody under 80. But I think it demonstrated two problems. One is the age, but also we run in tandem now. And so Kamala Harris has not demonstrated herself to be somebody who is good on the fly, somebody who can articulate herself. There's a lot of clips on her laughing, unnecessarily perhaps. And so I think this campaign is one that is going to be run on stability, and it doesn't have to be, particularly with the polling results, because one of the things that is misleading about those polling results is when you say, oh, well, 100% of people want Trump to run. That's not true. The problem is when you do aggregate data and these ratios, these are things that Dr. Branham does. I don't do research really. I just teach and lift buckets sometimes with you
That's not
serving
true.
the homeless. But when we think about those things, if you've got 70% of Republican voters who are behind Trump and you've got fewer than 40% who are behind Biden, that disproportionate ratio ends up being some sort of calculation where you say, yeah, there's a 9% chance of you being elected. Because people are not excited about Biden, people are not excited about his running mate. So we think about these things, we think about succession planning. What if something happens to President Biden as the oldest living president, older than Reagan, who demonstrated dementia, older than William Henry Harrison, who died in office? I mean, these are things that we anticipate, right? And the people we're excited about, those 5 youngest presidents, we know their names. We know Teddy Roosevelt, we know JFK, we know Bill Clinton, we know Ulysses S. Grant, hero of the Civil War. And there's this 5th guy who was the youngest president. He looks kind of like me, Barack Obama. And so we know these people. And the older presidents are not on that level. And so this is obviously a stability campaign.
Dr. Branham, is there anything that President Biden can do to turn around and get his base motivated about his re-election bid? Even some in his own party are saying, we don't think he should run again.
Well, I think this is clearly done behind the scenes because it doesn't look like anybody's going to challenge him. There are politicians out there, Democrats, who could run, and they've decided they're not going to run against him. So just like in 2020, they've decided behind the scenes that the Democratic nominee is going to be Joe Biden. So his best chance is to let Donald Trump sync himself with the voters and him be just the person we just have to go with because we have no other choice.
Got it. Well, we posted a mega poll on Fox26Houston.com asking if the election were today, and take a look at these numbers. You know who voting on this. If the election was held today, who'd you vote for? Trump, 80%. Biden, I think 8%. That's like his cousins. We'll be back with more Factor Uncensored in just a moment. Stay with us.